Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about the greatest common factor. So looking at two numbers and finding out if they have anything that can be divided into them that is common. So the first thing I do is I always just list out the multiples. So I'll list out the multiples first for 4. So I know that 1 goes in there 4 times, 2 goes in, and 4 goes in. All right, and then I do the same for 8. So I know 1 divides into 8. I know 2 divides into 8. 3 does not, 4 does, 5 does not, 6 does not, 7 does not, and then 8. So then we just look at them and find out what is in common. Well, I see that the 1s are in common. I see that the 2s are in common. And I also see that the 4s are in common. Okay, but we are working for the greatest. Okay, so the greatest common factor, or the GCF, is 4 for 8 and 4. All right, I'll do the same thing for 6 and 10 here. I'll list out my factors. So 1 goes in 6 times. 2 does go into 6 3 times. 3 goes in. Does 4? No. 5? No. And then 6. All right, do the same thing for 10. 1 divides into 10. 2 does as well, because 2 times 5 is 10. 3 does not. 4 does not. 5 does, because 5 goes in 2 times. 6 does not. 7 does not. 8, 9 does not. And then 10. All right, so all of these numbers will divide into 10. All right, and all of these numbers will divide into 6. So now I'm looking at the ones they have in common. Okay, we have the 1s in common. We have the 2s in common. 3, 5, 6, and 10, those are not in common. So our GCF would be 2. All right, and then the last one here, 18 and 12 right here. I'm just going to list out all my multiples. So 1 divides into 18, so does 2. 3 does 6 times. 4 does not. 5 does not. 6 does go into 18 because it goes 3 times. 7 does not. 8 does not. 9 does. And then 10, nothing goes in there besides 18. So when I say goes in there, I mean dividing by. So if I do 18 divided by 1, that's 18. If I do 18 divided by 2, that's 9. If I do 18 divided by 3, that's 6. If I do 18 divided by 6, that's 3. So these are all numbers that can be divided into that number. So I'm going to do the same for 12. So 1 goes in, 2 divides by 12, 3 goes in 4 times, so 3 and 4. 5 does not, 6 does, 7 does not, 8 does not, 9 does not, 10 or 11, and then lastly 12. So now we're looking at the ones they have in common. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so the greatest common factor is 3. So the main thing that you need to get right is when you are writing out your multiples. So when I'm doing this stuff right here, that's me writing out the multiples. So I would just start with 1. 1 goes into everything, so you're always going to have 1. And then keep going. So does 2 divide into 18? Yes, so I wrote 2. Does 3? Yes, so I wrote 3. Because 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times 9 is 18. 1 times 18 is 18. So you're looking for numbers that divide into each number. Then you're finding the ones they have in common and then picking the greatest number.